Hi guys, this is Michelle Padilla. I am the host of the Awareness Show, and we are doing another interview today. Elections are coming up, so I hope you guys get out there and vote because it's very important to vote, 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 vote. You only have 2 days, one more today and tomorrow. So hopefully you guys get out there and vote because I know the polls are going to be kind of hectic tomorrow. So hopefully you guys did the early voting. So I'm waiting for my guests to log in. And today we're going to be chatting with Brandie. She is running for city council, for the city of Carson. And as many of you guys know, there are there are two districts now. So Brandie's going to tell me what the districts are and what she hopes the outcome will be for the city of Carson, and what can she bring to the city of Carson and why. So here comes Brandie right now. Good afternoon, Brandie.
Hi, Michelle. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm still in summer, as you can tell, mentally. I haven't made it to fall yet.
Oh, I know, but here it's like kind of cold in Oxnard, so we got the sun, and then yesterday it started to rain on us a little bit, just for a
Oh,
second.
did it really?
Yeah,
Oh, we
about
haven't gotten there yet. I'm happy we haven't because we just had a couple caravans that we did this weekend. So it would have literally rained on our parade. So I'm
there
glad
you
that we
go.
haven't gotten there yet.
So, Brandie, tell my Facebook listeners who you are and why are you running for city council.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you for this opportunity, Michelle. I'm so glad that we've finally been able to connect. And I've
Yes.
known you for quite some time, and we have a rapport, a very good rapport. So it's a pleasure to be here with you today. My name is Brandie Williams Murdoch. I am running for Carson City Council in District 3. To a lot of people, I am a new face to them. However, I ran in 2016. At that time, we were a general city. We recently became districts. And
So,
so,
why the change of the district all of a sudden? Like,
so the reasoning is, and the reasoning that has been passed down, and a lot of people defer on this, but the council made the decision. There were three of the council members that made the decision for us to move forward with becoming districts due to the fact that we were presented with a lawsuit.
right,
And with the presentation of the lawsuit, they deemed it better for us to go ahead and draw the district lines versus us having to go to court, fight the battle that would have been an uphill battle in all fairness because no city has won in the case as it relates to districts. And including Santa Monica, who is right now currently in appeal. So they did win the appellate case. However, that would mean that they would have to go back and continue fighting. So to reserve money and to use money in different areas in the city of Carson, they deemed it best for us to go to districts. On a larger scale, what I do want to say is I enjoy the fact that we are a diverse city. I enjoy the fact that the demographics show that we are a diverse city. Of course, the census will show us something different, right? It will not different. It
right,
will show us more of that information, which I'm excited and eager to see that come through for us. However, what we do want to make sure is that we are in line with the California Voting Rights Act. And what we've been shown previously is that there are several areas that don't vote as high as other areas. And due to that, many of the people that are on council are making the decision for other areas. And
right,
so we want to be sure that we are spreading representation across the board on our council, which is extremely important to me. I'm all about representation.
right,
You asked me to tell you a little bit about myself, and I had to get beyond this, but I'm bilingual, my children are bilingual, and the reason being is because you can advocate for more people and you can help more people when you speak the language of the person and you learn the culture of them. And that's
right,
really what this is all about, right? When you sit in a seat of council or any seat of servitude, it's about serving. And
right.
that's what I want to do. And that's why I'm running for the seat.
And then, what kind of changes do you hope to see in the future in the city of Carson?
Yeah, it's another excellent question. So the first immediate change, I like to look at my tenure on council in three parts, right? Because I would like to, once I become elected, or should I become elected, of course,
When
stay
you
the entire, when I thank you very much, Michelle, I appreciate that. I would like to look at my tenure in three parts because we would be allowed to stay for 3 terms. And that would be foundation, growth, and legacy. And so my first term would really be building foundation. And one of the crucial parts for me is representation in each area of my district. And so I want to be sure and ensure that each area, so I have a portion of what we call Delamo, I have a portion of what we call the Patch, I have a portion of Dominguez presidential area, and then part of Calais. And so immediately I am going to look at selecting ambassadors for each one of those areas who will have boots on the ground and will keep their ear to the streets to make sure that we are incorporating the changes that those communities want and need, and we're executing them. So I can tell you what I want to do. However, I want to ensure that it's what the residents are looking for and what they need. And then one of the really big things that I want to see and that I am determined to see within my tenure is a quality grocery store. And that seems to sound so cliche-ish. We've heard it quite some time. But I really want to exit with leaving us the legacy of a quality grocery store with quality products, quality food, something as simple as really fresh fruits and vegetables that we could take home to our families. And we deserve
Right.
that. We deserve it.
Right.
And then lastly, well, there's two other things. I really want to see the 157-acre site completed. I've lived in Carson my entire life, and it seems to be something that people are kind of shrugging off because that promise has been there for quite some time. But I want to complete that, and I want to be instrumental in doing that. And the last part is creating an interface system so that people can become more involved in the process. And what that looks like is I know I'm voting for a council person, but what does my council person do? And how do I get in touch with them? And not only how do I get in touch with them, but how do I follow up and make sure that the change happens? So those are the things that I look to change. And when I leave, I want it to be tangible results.
So my next question is, people with disabilities, they are struggling during this time for COVID-19. Some of them, they cannot get to the polls in time. What are they trying to do for those who will have, special needs, who are the elders, who are struggling? I know that the buses are not running right now in the city of Carson. So what are they doing to make sure that people are getting out there to vote?
That is it's an excellent question, right? So I want to address the issue as it pertains to, so let me say this first. I don't know if you guys are aware, but Lyft is offering free services right now. So if you need a lift to the polls, and I can send you the link, Michelle, so you can share it, so that if people need the lift to the polls, they can call and get the lift to the polls. So any senior, anyone who's elderly, who needs that, I want to make sure that they know that that option is available, because there should not be anyone that is unable to get to the polls because there's a disability or because they're a senior or a veteran. So I got to make sure that that's out there, and I'm grateful for the corporations that are stepping up to that. You addressed the concern about transportation, which is a huge issue and concern for me, because as you know, they put a halt to our Carson circuit. And that was a really big deal. I get that safety is important, and we want to take safety measures in the time that we're in. Safety is crucial, right? However, I want to be involved in the process of making sure that we reignite that. And the reason being is because we see what a disadvantage that did to many of our seniors and people in the community as it relates to just getting the essentials and the necessities, right? Exactly. So I just had someone ask the question, and we addressed that earlier today, of what are we going to do about our Carson circuit? And that's going to be on the agenda on Wednesday, about what they're going to do. Should I become councilwoman, it's not going to be what we're going to do. It's going to be how we're going to get the Carson circuit back up and running. and how we're going to do a safety, because there's already bus lines that are currently running. And so that means there's a blueprint and there's a map for us to do it, and to do it within our city in a safe way. And here's the cool thing about it. Our systems are not as large as other systems. So
Right.
that means we can customize it and we can specialize it to make sure that the safety measures we put in place are better, right? For
Right.
our community. So those are the things that I'm committed to doing, and making sure that we have for our seniors and our veterans. So if you need assistance with getting to the polling places and to the voting places, those measures are in place, and I'll make sure I get that over to you, Michelle.
Yeah, send me that link, because I know a lot of people are struggling to get to the polls, and sometimes they don't have the transportation, or access is taking forever to respond. And our city buses right now, they run every 20 minutes, but there's only 10 people inside the bus, and some of them are not wearing masks at all.
Oh wow!
So,
well, is that Orange County, correct?
Ventura, Oxnard, yeah.
Oh, Ventura, Oxnard. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's I haven't taken a bus for a while. So as you know, I'm high risk, and I've been staying home and doing, because of my sinus infections and all that, and so I haven't been really going out. But I fear that for those that have to go out, what other options are there available?
What are the options?
Sure. The Metro's okay. They're running really good. They're keeping it clean. I've been hearing from other people, but sometimes it's not enough. And if they have to work late tomorrow, what other options do they have? So
there should also be the options of time. There should be time allotted from every employer to vote. So look into those options as well. And if people don't know, it's not being offered.
And then what other changes? I heard that, I don't know if it's true or not. They said that they wanted a Costco's out there by Carson. I've heard that.
There's a lot of wants. There are a lot of wants, right?
Right.
What I'm committed to as councilwoman is making sure that I'm cautious about saying things and then having to come behind and be apologetic that I didn't execute, right?
Right.
And so I will say this. I've done my homework on what it's going to take to bring us a quality grocery store. I have not done my homework on what it's going to take to bring us a Costco or a Sam's Club. And so I'm committed to doing what's necessary to bring us the quality grocery store. And we're in a place to seize the moment to do that. So I know a lot of people are concerned about a lot of the new projects that are coming up in the community. And I too am concerned about some of the things that are happening around those projects within our community. And I'm sure we'll get to some of that. However, I want us to look at balanced growth. So you want to make sure that your city is growing, because when your city grows, it allows better shopping options. It allows better dining options. And with us growing and getting additional rooftops, that's what we're going to need in order to bring those quality grocery stores and shopping options to our city. I know people have talked about what our median income is within our cities, but it's going to take more than that to secure these options for us. And because we've gone beyond and we're now on the path to that, we can do this. So let's start with the quality grocery store, and should we move up to the Sam's Club or the Costco, that would be great. But let's go there. And we've got one pretty close to us. But the quality grocery store, we should be able to shop for that, and it should be right in our backyard.
And then, like, for the heart stroke center over there, I know there's, I forgot her name. Sharma's been fighting it for years, and the disability programs over there. So what kind of, my question is, what kind of programs do you think you see happening in the future with those types of programs, like the disability programs and the stroke center? So we want to make sure that it keeps going. So
I had a really good conversation with someone who is now a staunch and a very huge supporter of mine. I'm so grateful for her name is Luce, and I hope Luce is watching or Luce sees this, because she's helped me such a great deal with things. So many people may not know this about me, but I have an administrator license for adults with developmental disabilities. And
Nice.
one of the reason I have that credential is because I wanted to know upfront, personal, and closely what's necessary to reach my hand across the aisle in that way. A lot of times people can say what they want to do, but when you know what the need is, you can really help, right?
Right.
And it was another way for me to understand the needs within our within that community. And I don't like to say within that community, within our community, right? Because we're all family. And so when Luce and I had the conversation, the thing I loved about having it was, when you have a disability, or when it's just who you are, you don't want to have to keep fighting to be heard, or you don't want to have to keep fighting to be seen. It gets exhausting, right? I am who I am, and I need you to just think about me, right? So we talked about that and we discussed that. And in me also doing this ambassador program, part of that program, a leg of that program, would also include the ADA as well. And it will be so that we also know how to think outside of the box and be inclusive. So Carson built the accessible park, one of our parks, the Dolphin Park, which is an all access park for everyone, which is great. It's wonderful. We love it. That's a great start for Carson. However, she gave me an example of, she was at the park and she was walking her dog, and she had her stick in her hand, because her white stick in her hand, because she is partially blind. And someone yelled at her because she couldn't see the signs. And he said, "Can't you see there aren't any dogs here?" And the thing was, there was not any compassion for the fact that she may not have seen the signs. And we've got to do it.
Yeah. They don't know if she's, exactly.
Exactly. So we've got to do a better job at being compassionate about what it is, what the needs are, and not only compassionate about it, but making it the needs inclusive, and making it so that it's not a big red sign, right? But that it's just there and it's accessible. So that's something that I'm committed to doing once I get there as well.
If you need help, I can help you with some of that stuff, because there is some techniques that I know certain people who are blind, they use bright colorful signs to see and help them. So like maybe have some stickers or neon lights that say, don't, you can't walk your dog there, or maybe have like a little voice box say, stop, can't walk down the park, or something like that. Something technology. I know it's a work in progress, but some of the people don't understand the struggles.
Yep.
And its difficulties. And I wish people would not pick on other people who are blind. They can't see, and it's not their fault. So
not even that, but what about the person who is deaf, or what about the person who has other developmental disabilities, or whatever it is? We just want to be sensitive to that and be inclusive. It's just about being inclusive.
Yes. So I think that's a good idea, and I can give you some ideas once you get elected for city council.
I love how you keep saying once I love it, Michelle.
There's no count in my vocabulary. So many of you guys know that I struggle myself, and this month is 22Q Awareness Month. So all month long, we're going to be doing different stories of people who have 22Q and different issues that people have that they don't know. So they struggle daily. And it's a cycle, and it's the second most common syndrome to Down syndrome today. A lot of people don't know that. And so we're making a big kick out of it because it's Awareness Month. And I've been doing this for 9 years for podcasting, and I've been having you see my guests on the show. I've had Hanson Williams on the show, Marion Ross on the show, Charlotte's son, Back to Life. He was on the
Wow.
show.
Okay.
So, and these all certain people have. Some of them have special needs, or their daughters or the sons have special needs, and they have causes or events. And right now with COVID-19, a lot of people with disabilities and seniors are stuck at home, and
Yeah.
they're going nuts.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And I heard you guys doing the bike ride. I see that on Facebook a lot.
Yes. Yes.
And I've been trying to get John onto the show, but he is so busy, you know.
John is extremely busy, but I will let him know that you've been trying to get him on the show, and we will see how we can make that happen.
Yes, and I tried to get Anna, but like I said, I've been off and on sick again with my sinuses acting up, and then we recently had the fires up here in Ventura, so
Oh,
it
that's
wasn't
probably just been, a
yeah,
bit much.
it wasn't as bad as the ones in Los Angeles. So really quick, your final campaign. I know you got a lot of stuff going on. Final campaign.
Yes.
What's happening tonight? What are you doing
Oh
tonight?
gosh, we have so much going on, right? So we are, and I appreciate you asking that, because people think because we just have one more day that there's not anything that they can do. There are still lots of things that
Right.
you can do. So we are still calling, and our headquarters, let's start with that, is at 631 East University Drive in Carson, 90746. We are on the corner of University and Avalon in the parking lot with Crown Drugs and My Father's Barbecue. And we are calling from 5 to 8 tonight, and we will be calling tomorrow from 3 to 8 tonight. We will have a watch party at the headquarters. The watch party will have a cocktail hour between 6:30 and 8, and it will officially begin at 8. So if you want to stop by, you can do that. Of course, there'll be a sanitation station as well as masks that'll be required as well, and other PE. There is a link if you go to my Instagram site, which is simply just Brandie Murdock, BrandiMurdock. And in the link tree, if you click on it, it will take you to my website. It will also take you to my donation site. And then we have a volunteer jot form that you can click on and let us know how you want to volunteer. If you want to be a social media ambassador and want to repost our things. We had a huge get out the vote over this past weekend. So we're responding to emails. We're sending out emails every single day for the last 5 days. So we're down to 1 day. So calling, donating, and sharing on your social media site. I am totally okay with you reposting, as long as it's my verbiage and great verbiage that you're following it up with. Reposting my information. And just sharing the word.
With you and Juanita Hilton and Anna.
Jawan Hilton.
Yes, sorry.
It's okay. You think about Juanita Millender Magano. Yeah.
See,
yeah.
I always get mixed up, but yeah, I see them mostly on Facebook, and I don't see Jim Deere as much, or Lulu, or the others. So I only see you. I see Anna. And then I see John. I'm like, okay, hold on. Let me share. You guys.
Oh, you said Lula. You're talking about Lula. Oh, okay. Yes. Yes. Yeah. I get what you said. Yes. I want to tell you this. Jawan and Anna are extremely visible and transparent. The three of us are very transparent on Facebook. Here's the deal. Times are changing. And that's how people are communicating. And I am so for being at the forefront and on the front lines, because this is about servitude.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then so there's 3 districts really quick. What 3 districts are where? Like you mentioned University Drive. Calais is one of them?
Yeah, so there's 4 districts. And the 3rd district is, so just if I can kind of give it to you, just roughly for people to get it. It's a portion of the Alamo area. So I have up into a street, Scobie, which is a portion between the Central and Wilmington, between University and Del Amo. And then I have the Dominguez presidential area. and the patch area over near the 405, as well as behind Callis Park. So that would be District 3.
Okay.
Okay.
And then see, I used to live over by Callis Park, so I was
Okay.
right in that general area.
Okay.
But I'm familiar with that. And then the other districts, I'm not. I know Charles is running, but I just don't know what district he is running for.
So Jawan Hilton is the current councilman in that district. He and I have our headquarters together, and the people that are running against Jawan are yes, Charles, who you mentioned, and then Vincent Kim. They are more towards the north end of Carson. So the Dominguez Hill Village area, Village Park area, Coatman Ave, that area. And then they do have a small portion that will run down Avalon all the way up to, and don't quote me, but around 213th over near the City Hall area. And okay, I can send you the district map so you can see how that's all broken up as well. So when I hang up from here, I'll make sure I send you the district map as well as the lift info.
Yes. Final quote. What do you hope for tomorrow's outcome?
Final quote. So I'm a huge person. Vision is so huge to me. It's really huge to me. And so I keep hearing this run in my head. And I would love to say, I went to bed as Brandie Williams Murdoch and woke up as Councilwoman Brandie Williams Murdoch. That would just be awesome. And not just for me, right? It's not an ego thing. It's not a pompous thing, because I tell people all the time that I am a widow and I have 2 children. So that in and of itself, if you're a mom, my statement on the ballot or my designation on the ballot is businesswoman mom. So to run a business and to have children, you know what that's like. But I have time for this in the moment. And so I know what I can dedicate to this. And I'm excited about the changes that I can help bring to our city. So to be able to get to do what I have the capacity to do through God, whom I just, I have to definitely make sure that I include in all of this, because it's impossible to do it alone. But to be able to do that and have the capacity to do it in this moment alongside my community would be an honor. It truly, truly would be an honor. And to do it alongside a colleague of mine, Jawan Hilton, who I grew up with from childhood, who's also a forward thinker and who is also innovative, would be great. So that would be what I would look to do. My favorite mantra, one of my favorite ones says, be the change that you wish to see in the world. So Carson, allow me the opportunity to be the change that I wish to see in the world. And then where can they reach you? Your social media platform real quick. Absolutely. So on Instagram, it's Brandie, Brandi Murdoch, Murdock. On Facebook, it's Brandie Williams Murdoch. So Brandi Williams Murdock. On Twitter, it's Brandie SW Murdoch. And my website is Brandie Murdoch, the number 4 Carson, CARSON.com. And my telephone number is 424-255-8867. So one last thing, make sure you guys get out to vote today and tomorrow. The polls are going to be madness, I tell you. So we have presidents, city council members, propositions. Yeah, the propositions vote all the way down the ballot. We've got some great ones on the ballot this time. Yeah, I thought I was going to be able to just drop my ballot off in the ballot box. I finished it 2 weeks ago, but my kids are like, Mom, traditionally we go to the polls, so we've got to go. So I will be at the polls tomorrow as well. Well, unfortunately, I'll be staying inside. I already dropped my ballot off, so we'll see what the outcome of it is, and hopefully it won't be as bad as everybody say. With they said it might be some riots, some looters. So I'm hoping you guys be safe out there. Just take precaution, because they've been having a lot of rallies for both sides. Trump and Biden. It's gonna be crazy tomorrow. So hopefully you guys be safe and remember Lyft. What about, is Uber doing
free rides, you know?
You know
Maybe?
what? I don't know, but I will say this. Usually Uber always has an answer to Lyft.
Okay. There you go. I know that last year the metro buses were, you know, free rides for voters and stuff like that. Don't quote me on that. Yeah, I'm not sure because of COVID-19. Everything's changing with COVID-19. So be safe. Thank you, Brandie. And
Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate this.
I'll post this up in a few minutes.
All right. Always a pleasure. Take care.
You too. Love ya.
Bye.
Bye.